got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Me fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. We miss my majesties.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199, the second edition on a Friday. Hope you're all having a great day. We did a CobraCast earlier. Then we did Friday Night Tights. Now we're back on CobraCast. I told you 3 streams today. 3 of them. I'm a man of my word. Not always. But today we were successful. It doesn't happen a lot around here, so celebrate it when it happens. Keenan says, did you see the movie Where the Wild Things Are? That is what is his name? He's the guy that did a lot of the Beastie Boys music videos that did that movie. That like Spike Jones or something like that directed it. Am I right about that? I'm pretty sure that's who directed it. I remember seeing it, but I don't really remember it. So yeah, I don't know though. I remember seeing it a long time ago, but I can't tell you anything about it. Spike Jones. Yep. Spike Jones. Yeah. So the guy that directed Where the Wild Things Are is the same guy that directed like Sabotage and a lot of the Beastie Boys, stuff. So yeah, but I don't really remember much about that movie. May have to check it out again. Mar Millen says pre-stream grift tax or pre-stream chat grift tax. Hell to the yeah. That's my favorite kind of tax right there. Kate Panfield for 10 says there is actually a streaming tax being proposed among 50 plus new taxes in Virginia. I'm hoping to escape to the land of low taxes, aka Tennessee. F for me, I'm about to get taxed out of my ass on the air that I breathe here in Virginia, but now there's a pre-stream tax too. Lol. If you're looking to move somewhere and Tennessee is on the radar, I highly recommend Tennessee, with the exception of Memphis. Don't move to Memphis. Anywhere else, though, I mean, Tennessee has some beautiful landscape. Oh, man, Tennessee is absolutely gorgeous. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Thank you, Kate. Good to see you. Stormbreaker says not Florida. That's correct. We're full here in Florida. It's all full. Or Nashville. I mean, I visited Nashville and I really liked Nashville. But I don't think I would live in Nashville. I would probably want to live outside of Nashville. Stormbreaker says all hail Cobra Commander Jeremy and King Trump. Timothy says, why is Trump refusing to apologize or fire the staffer posting a horribly racist meme? Does he not realize how dangerous this is to our democracy? I could feel your sarcasm in that. Thank you for the super chat. And let's go ahead and talk about it. So, dude, this whole thing is laughable. and it's the nonsense has not stopped. But John freaking Murdoch is here. He says, "Hey, Jeremy, I found some money in the couch cushions. Caught you on FNT. It was nice to see you there instead of just the intro. Hail iDots, hail 199, hail King Jeremy, ruler of the iDots. John freaking Murdoch. Found some money in the cushions. Look at there. And I'm worthy of it. I'm happy to see you, brother. Thank you so much." Vault 199 says, "At least Epstein didn't smoke me in PUBG, I assume." You know, Vault 199 Gaming, I was thinking about this the other day. Maybe, I'm not promising, all right? But do you know what I would like to play? I would like to play some Battlefront 2017 over on the D-Day Cobra Gaming channel. Maybe soon we could fire up. I got to talk to the guys and see who all's available. I miss playing Battlefront, dude. I love Battlefront 2017. I don't know how many people are still playing that game. I would love to fire up some Battlefront, though, man. I freaking love 2017. So, if you're not subscribed to my D-Day Cobra Gaming channel, you make sure you do that. Jessica just dropped a link to that. I haven't streamed over there in forever. Ewok hunting. Ewok hunt is great. But yeah, Battlefront 2017 is a fantastic game. There's not a lot of people playing it right now, but I'd love to fire that game back up. I don't know. Hailstorm, are you here? Are you backstage? Unmute. Let me know if you're here. All right, there he is. Hailstorm, Battlefront. You going to play some Battlefront 2017 with me?
If I have to.
There we go. See, so much enthusiasm from Jay Hailstorm. All right, Hailstorm, you've made me commit to it now. We're gonna make it happen. Are you happy, Hailstorm?
Not really.
I didn't think so. Everyone say hello to Jay Hailstorm. Say hello, Jay Hailstorm.
Hello?
All right, bye. All right, he sounds so enthusiastic about it. But we talked about this a little bit earlier, but man, oh man, the meltdown over the meme posted by Trump on True Social has been hilarious to watch all of it play out, but they are not letting this one go. Democrats can't learn. Democrats can't learn for the, like, it's so funny. They have failed for over a decade with this narrative, and yet they are here again running with the "he's a racist" meme, because this is all they have. And one of the biggest clowns of them all, Stephen A. Smith, had something to say. John Murdoch says, "Ran out of space on the last super chat. Happy Jessica." There it is, Jessica. You got the shout out. Listen to this clown, Stephen A. Smith. So if you didn't see CobraCast earlier today, President Trump posted an election fraud video. At the end of the election fraud video, it auto-played to a meme by Zerius, where it's a Lion King meme, and Obama, the Obamas are portrayed by, monkeys. And so the internet laughs at it because memes are funny, but yet Democrats are clutching their pearls and they're crying about it and they're whining about it and they're going crazy. In fact, before I let you hear Stephen A. Smith's ridiculous, and I mean absolutely ridiculous comment, let me just show you the meme itself, okay? Because this is the meme right here. Here it is. Okay. This is the meme right here.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the
So this has got the left really upset. Now, to be clear, he didn't post the version I just showed you. It was an election fraud video, and at the end of the election fraud video, someone screen recorded that. It auto played to this video, and the meltdown has happened. And that brings us to Stephen A. Smith. Here we go.
I just wanted to address this subject, and that's essentially involving the President Donald Trump posting a video depicting former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. I'm going to say that again. Depicting the first Black president in United States history and the first Black First Lady in United States history as apes, monkeys. In the year 2026, that has happened. Now, before I go into it, let me say this. The White House says that it wasn't the president's fault, even though the video has been removed from the president's Truth Social account.
So the video has been removed. I will say I'm very disappointed in Trump's response to this. He hasn't apologized, and he's not like fully bending the knee, but he's partially bending the knee on this, which I am not happy about because it's only giving them more, fuel for this nonsense.
Guy in the White House using his administration to tell you he had nothing to do with a post that has his fingerprints and his smell and his stench written all over it. That's who we're talking about here. And that same man must be universally condemned for having his platform associated with such an insulting, classless, despicable post that was on his platform for 12 hours.
Now, what happens on the internet when people complain about something? Anybody? What happens on the internet when people clutch their pearls and cry and whine? You know what happens? The internet responds with even more memes because this is what the internet does. So this is what the internet does. The more that these Democrats cry and whine, the more that this shit happens.
Anybody who doesn't speak against him on this is complicit.
Anybody, you're all complicit in the racism, guys. You're all complicit.
Telling us what you think about Black people.
What?
Plain and simple. There is no way around this. This requires universal condemnation.
Oh my God.
Doesn't mean he's going to leave office. But it could mean that we need others in office during the midterm that aren't necessarily on the right. So more checks and balances can take place. And perhaps, dare I say, he'll be a bit more guarded from doing nonsense like this. Because again, I believe he is guilty of this. Do I have proof? No.
I believe he's guilty of this, but I don't have proof. Said like a left-winger to a T.
But I've told y'all on many occasions, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it ain't a damn mongoose. Guess what it is?
Lord, so cringe.
His tendencies, his rhetoric, his petulance, his belligerence all fall in line with what we're talking about right now.
Now, this is classic Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith will lean into pro MAGA stuff occasionally so he can get on Fox News and he can get compliments and things like that. But the moment that the left, primarily white liberals, pretend to be offended over something, meaning his executives at Disney, he will fall right back in line every single time. Every single time. And that's the majority of the people that are offended by this is white liberals. 1,000%. In fact, right here, listen to this guy.
Okay, now pay attention to this. The people who were the loudest about this post that was posted by a staffer, not even Trump himself. The staffer was being lazy, probably trying to get things done quick and didn't cut out part of the screen recording. That's when this part came up on the screen. But notice the same people who are pushing us all over the internet and talking about it and all this and that, they're quiet about things like this that have recently been happening in Minnesota. I'm going to give you 2 examples. Both of these have recently happened in Minnesota.
Oh, you're black! What? Nigga, you're next! You're next!
Yep.
So she tells him he's black and she says, nigger, you're next. So we've got leftists in Minnesota calling people niggers. And then we've got DHS agents who are telling these people to watch their mouths. So the leftists in Minnesota are calling people niggers, and the racist agents are the ones telling the leftists calling people niggers to watch their mouth. Let's think about that for a second. All right, here's another example. Here's another leftist in Minnesota calling a federal agent a house nigger bitch. Now let's think about this. All the people who are all over this Trump post, have you heard them talking about this? Have you seen the left calling out this abhorrent behavior? Have you seen them doing that en masse?
And it goes back to the Epstein files situation. They're not offended over anything. They're just trying to get Trump. That's what it's always about. That's what it all, for the last decade, that's what it's always been about. This is not about being offended over a fucking meme.
No, they've been quiet. They like to act like this never happened. They're essentially saying, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead and call black agents niggers. They're nice anyway. Again, it's all about narrative control. We are in a propaganda war. If you don't know that, you should be aware of that. We're in a propaganda war. They're not principled. They don't care about being racist. They care about winning politically. That's why you can have leftists in Minnesota calling black agents niggers on camera and recording it.
Thank you. When you clip this, you're going to have to edit that out because in a regular upload, we're going to get demonetized quickly. So every time he drops that word, you're going to have to edit that shit out because it will not fly on monetization on a video.
And the left does nothing about it. Again, you're not seeing the left come out in mass and condemn this behavior or try to cancel these people. You're not seeing any of that. They're just letting it happen because they truly don't care. They just use black people as political pawns. I just want to point out the hypocrisy and the selective outrage that's currently happening. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Don't forget I have a free email newsletter.
With blacks, it's okay. But this is all about AI. And AI is going to hear a very well-spoken and articulate individual using that word, and they're not going to go for it. Trust me, I've been doing YouTube long enough to know. And the AI is going to be like, this guy enunciates. This guy's well-spoken. He's speaking with clarity. This is a white guy saying this, because that's how the AI will look at it. Now, we've got the mainstream clowns. This is over on Black Conservative Perspectives channel. Greg, shout out to Greg. I actually messaged him the other day, and I'm like, hey, man, you do such good work. I just want to, like, are you cool with me reacting to your stuff? He's like, of course, bro, no problem. So Greg is awesome. So make sure you subscribe to him. But yeah, this is the outrage machine right here over it. Here we go.
Chris, they think we haven't seen The Lion King. There are no apes in The Lion King. There's not one ape. There's a baboon, Rafiki. He is actually central to the story, but there's not one ape in the movie. So let's just be for real right now. There's not an ape in The Lion King. So I would have never put out a statement like that. I would have The one time somebody thought the person I worked for did say something that was racist and inhumane, I went to my principal and encouraged the principal to apologize and explain to them why what they said was problematic. Okay. So Eugene, I cannot grasp this. This is the last thing I'll say. It is not racist because it is offensive. It is offensive because it is inherently racist. The trope about depicting Black people as animals goes all the way back to white Europeans looking for a justification for colonization and the enslavement of African people. And it gained prominence in the 1700s and 1800s, and it became a racial, like a scientific theory. I'm using air quotes. And it was a mainstream theory that put a hierarchy that said white Europeans were at the top and Africans were at the bottom. And depiction of apes was very central to this theory. They were at the bottom. They were closer.
I want to remind everyone, it's over a meme. She's bringing all of this shit into it over a meme. A meme.
To primitive beings such as apes. Therefore, Black people, specifically in that time, Africans, were better suited for forced labor and domination. So it is racist because the root of this theory, this trope, this joke, okay, that the White House is talking about, is rooted in the ability to dominate, rape, pillage, and inflict violence upon Black people.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about the latest fake outrage from the left over a meme that President Trump posted on his Truth Social depicting the Obamas as apes and monkeys, right? Now, I guess when you see something like this in isolation, right, to, leftists and liberals, and
I have it on good authority that after, they must have been playing her monologue at a Olive Garden, because this happened at an Olive Garden, and I'm guaranteeing that they had the MSDNC video on. New details have emerged about a January 30th incident in Pennsylvania where authorities say a male cook in an Olive Garden restaurant plunged his head into a commercial deep fryer during his shift in what is being investigated as an apparent you-know-what attempt. He suffered critical burn injuries, was rushed to a local hospital, and later passed away from his injuries. He was listening to MSDNC. And yes, that is a crazy story. I like this one. Did they change the oil? The internet, bro. The internet never, just when you think the internet has not become savage enough, the internet always steps in and lets you know, we don't give a shit. We just want to know, did they change the oil?
Sensitive folks, it can be offensive. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. When I first saw this, I chuckled a little bit, right? I wasn't butthurt. I was like, okay, let's see exactly why this was posted, right? In the full context, because with anything that Trump does and the liberal media is upset about, you got to look at the full context. You cannot take it in isolation.
Correct.
You got to look at the full context.
Correct.
But the context doesn't matter here because these people are going to cry racism no matter what, right? And I'm just here to let you guys know that, long story short, when it comes to this story and Trump posting this as a Black person, and I can't speak for Black MAGA, Black Republicans, because, there are a lot of people say, what does Black MAGA, Black Republicans have to say about this? I'll just let you know right now, right? I don't give a right? I don't give one F, okay? So I just want people to understand how I feel about this. I don't care.
And most people don't care. And as I said, it is more than anything, it's white liberals that are pushing this nonsense. It always is white liberals that are pushing this. It just is. And then you have a bunch of, sheep followers that are going to repeat whatever. I mean, Stephen A is a classic example of that. Like, we just got another white liberal running the Disney company, taking over Bob Iger. Kamala Harris's best friend is the number 2 person at Disney now. Stephen A is going to do whatever his bosses tell him to do and to be fake offended over whatever they want him to be fake offended over.
Talk about it because, this is what the liberal media is upset about. So what Trump actually posted was a video about the election, right? And of course, they don't want to talk about this part of it.
Initiated by a court order, the Michigan investigation team obtained forensic access to a DS-200 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data.
Do you know how many people are going to watch this video for the first time because of the selective outrage? And they're going to be like, oh, damn. Wait, what? This is what the video's about? Oh, I see why the liberals are upset. I see why the deflection is happening. I totally understand now.
Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, Dominion machines, ESNS machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
Yeah. So as you can see here, right, this video, the original video, was reposted by Trump on Truth Social, but it wasn't a video that he made. Now, it looks like it was one of those videos where somebody may have been screen recording and then it flipped up to some other random video, because that's what happens, right? If you're screen recording on X and you are looking at other videos, it's very easy to easily flip to the next video, right? That's what it looks like to me. Okay. And you can see the original video here.
So again, I said this earlier when I was covering this, but I feel like Trump did post Zirius's initial meme back in 2025 when it was made. So October 24th, 2025. I feel like he did, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know if somebody can verify that. Because a few people said yes, he did, but I want to know if we can verify if he actually posted this. I feel like he did. I'm going to message Zirius and ask him. I'm going to do it. I know I covered him actually retweeting it. I think he did. Let me message him right now.
Right. In full context, it's not just, the Obamas or whatever, but is also Democrats, right? Democrats. Okay. The title of this video is President Trump, King of the Jungle. So it's a bunch of Democrats as, animals, right? Kamala's a turtle. I think Biden's an orangutan. So, I mean, hey, is that racist? Right? Is Biden been orangutan racist, or is it just black folks, right, that are depicted as apes? Is that the only thing that's racist? You have Trump as a lion, right? I think that's the plus size Democrat influencer, right? You got Harry Sisson, Hakeem Jeffries, Whoopi, right? Harry Sisson. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a meme. Now, the White House, they're claiming that Trump didn't actually post this, that some intern or some staffer, right, posted this on Truth, right, on his Truth.
So Trump has made a response to this, and a direct response. And I think that his response is kind of weak. I do. I think it's like, he's obviously not going to apologize and fully bend the knee, but it's a weak response. And I wish he would not. have responded like that, but he did. What's the response? Let me see if I can find the audio. It's an audio clip of it right here. Okay, here it is. This is him right here. Here we go.
Media post that you took down earlier today. The White House says that a staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
I looked at it. I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud, and I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud in and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we did it. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President,
We took it down as soon as we found out about it. And it's like, that's a weak response. We took it down. Why? Why would you take it down? There's nothing wrong with it.
A number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things. I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. They had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on the Lion King. And certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it. And probably they would have had the sense to take it down. But that was a takeoff on the Lion King. And a lot of people were covered in different positions. So, but I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy.
Tim Scott's a loser and a piece of shit, and he's a coward, and he will always stab you in the back the moment that you need support. Tim Scott sucks. Tim Scott is a black Lindsey Graham. That's who Tim Scott is.
He understood that 100%. Go ahead. Mr. President.
So that's Trump's response right there.
Profile. This is what they're claiming. Take a look.
House is responding to criticism after President Trump posted a video that includes a racist meme depicting former President Obama and his wife Michelle as apes. Now the Senate's only black Republican senator is responding and calling out the White House. ABC's Jay O'Brien's here with more on that. Hi, Jay, what's the latest?
Yeah, Diane, just moments ago, the video was deleted from President Trump's account.
Listen to how they're reporting on this like there was a fucking terrorist attack, dude. Like moments ago, the video was removed. Like they're reporting on this like they got boots on the ground. We got missiles flying. Families are taking cover. This is absolutely insane.
And it comes after a growing chorus of Republican lawmakers called on the White House to take the racist image down, including, as you say, Senator Tim Scott, who posted the image in addition to his post. ABC is not showing the image, but we are showing you the post. And
not
it says,
showing
quote,
the
praying
image.
it was fake because it's the most
Not
racist
showing
thing
the
I've
image.
seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. The racist image comes at the end of a minute-long video the president posted on his social media platform. The first 59 seconds describe debunk election conspiracy theories from 2020. And at the end, the video suddenly cuts to an animated meme showing the Obama's faces on the bodies of apes. The NAACP is out with a statement saying, in part, quote, Donald Trump's video is blatantly racist, disgusting, and utterly despicable, end quote. That again from the NAACP. Images of...
They're doing the meme. They're doing the meme. They're doing the Mrs. Obama get down meme. There it is right here.
Mrs. Obama, I've done it. I've stopped racism. Thank you, Skipper. Now I am free to roam this earth. Not if I have anything to say about it, and I do. I'm gonna say the N-word. Mrs. Obama, get down! Nick.
Black people as apes have been used throughout American history to dehumanize them. Slave traders and segregationists use these types of images to depict Black people as inferior, and at times it's led to violence. Initially, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said in a statement, quote, "This is from an internet meme depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that..."
This is so stupid. This is so stupid. Good Lord. Oh, man.
Actually matters to the American public, end quote. But again, since that statement, the video now appears to have been deleted, and the White House is now saying from an anonymous staffer, quote, that they erroneously made the post.
Reposting a racist meme is not an excuse for posting something racist, the fact that it was a meme. Second, he only posted the part of that meme video that featured the Obamas, not any other part of it.
It's third, the beginning of the video. This is all so tiresome, man. Good Lord. Yeah, like, again, why is it racist? Could you explain that, Jake Tapper? I need you to specifically tell me why you personally think it's racist. I would love for you to break that down. I would love for you to break that down. Please, please let us know.
One does have to wonder about the worldview of the meme maker, given that there are no apes in The Lion King. For those wondering, Rafiki's a mandrill.
When you saw this image, if we can put it up, it's an awful image of the Obamas that the president put out. According to Sam Stein, it has been the White House has taken it down. But your thoughts?
I saw some people arguing, do you think that he really posted this? Do you think, yeah, of course I think he really posted that. Your default position should not be maybe he didn't. Your default should put the position.
Somehow Jack Murphy returned. Somehow Jack Murphy is back and he is talking about Trump posting memes.
Should be to understand why he definitely did. There's a lot of people that say Donald Trump ushered in this, new age of white supremacy, that Donald Trump ushered in hate and all this stuff. And that's not true. Hate ushered in Donald Trump. White supremacy ushered in Donald Trump.
The idea that anyone would post a video like that, let alone the president of the United States, someone who's supposed to find ways to bring us together, someone who's supposed to appeal to our better angels, this guy seems to always find a lower and lower common denominator. Here in Pennsylvania, we respect all people, no matter what they look like, where they come from, who they love, who they pray to, who they choose not to pray to. We don't scapegoat others. We certainly don't peddle in racist videos and other racist statements like this president has made. He needs to do better. And I think the good people of Pennsylvania recognize that. We're a Commonwealth that was founded by William Penn as a place that would be warm and welcoming for all. I take it very seriously, and I know the elected leaders take it very seriously here.
You notice how they all stopped talking about Alex Pretty Stupid whenever the next video came out of him showing him going after law enforcement? You remember how hard they were virtue signaling off of that? And now suddenly they aren't talking about that anymore because they always find something new to be fake outraged over.
That we be a place that is welcoming for all. And the president's conduct, once again, unfortunately, erodes that. But we're not going to let him win on that. We're going to appeal to our better angels, and we're going to do the right thing here. And we're not going to get sucked down into the depths that this president seems to reach for each day.
So again, I just want you guys to understand. I am not like some of these other people, right? Some of these Republicans, including black Republicans, black conservatives, whatever, that's going to come out here and say, oh, what the president posted was racist. He needs to apologize. This is not a good look. Right? Nah, that's not me. It's not me. I'm just not going to do it. Right? And I'm going to explain to you why I'm not going to do it, because one, I'm not offended. Right? Let's keep it 100. I'm not offended. Clearly, it was an accident. Clearly, it was not something that was done on purpose, right? There was no real intent behind it. Now, I guess you can argue that the president and his truth post, right, should be thoroughly vetted before he posts something like that. But we already know that Trump's true posts are, not, censored, right? For the most part. So the thing is like, this is not new, right? This is not out of the blue. This is not out of the ordinary for me. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, the president's posts are pretty raw, right? For the most part. And, when you post stuff that is pretty raw, sometimes you're going to make mistakes, right? Clearly, his posts aren't super vetted all the time, right? That's just what it is. They claim that some staffer posted it. I don't know. And I really don't care if Trump posted or staffer posted it.
Doesn't matter.
At the end of the day, I am not offended, and I'm not going to engage in the performative outrage along with people who, in my opinion, have no leg to stand on when it comes to these issues about racism, hate, and bigotry, right? I'm not going to engage in performative outrage with the same people who laughed while justifying Charlie Kirk being assassinated. No, I'm not going to perform that type of outrage. I'm not going to engage in performative outrage.
But this is the same thing that they do every single time. Now, every now and then, Trump does something that a lot of the weak Republicans feel that they have to virtue signal off of as well. And this is one of those moments where a lot of the weak Republicans are like, well, I gotta call this one out because this is, because everybody's always worried about, well, what are the optics and all of that shit every single time. Gregory for 20 says, one monkey don't stop no show. Thank you, Gregory, for the 20. Narco says Google AI. Yes, humans are classified biologically as great apes, along with chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans. Humans share over 97% of their DNA with other great apes. I'm not seeing a problem here. Stephen A. Smith is a clown. Yes, he is. Again, Stephen A. Smith is one of the weakest people you will see. And he will always take whatever position he needs to take to keep the overlords at Disney happy. Aided Clock says, screw bending the knee to these weak people. In the words of Rev, it sets a new standard for everything you're allowed to do. Correct. Swirly BS for 10 says, hello, fellow 199ers. How are you doing? Me and the wife are having a great time with your content. Look at there. You didn't get in trouble? Or was I not supposed to say anything? You know what? Maybe that was another Swirly BS. Just forget what I had to say. Never mind. I didn't mean it. I got confused. Shout out, brother. Appreciate you. John for 20 says, they got him now. The walls are closing in. They fixate on the Lion King. So there were apes in the Lion King. Would it be okay? Also, they made Joe Biden a baboon. So that's okay. What are better angels? Yeah, what does he mean by that? What did Shapiro mean by that? We're going to focus on our better angels. Oh, my goodness. I actually, under Stephen A. Smith's post, I actually posted the meme. This right here. This is Stephen A. Smith right here. I got him. Guys, we've got him. Trump is done. It's over. It's over. It's over with. Bunny Mom says, good evening, Jeremy. You getting sick? Hope not. Happy Friday. No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm old, so I'm going to die at some point, but hopefully not today. But no, I feel great. But yeah, so they got Trump this time. John freaking Murdoch for 10 says, which is more offensive, Obama as apes or Trump or a beheaded Trump? Exactly. But they don't care about that. They're not going to be offended by that because that's what they want. They absolutely want that. In fact, listen, man. Let's make things fair, okay? Here, let's make things fair, okay? This will even everything up and nobody will be offended no more. It'll all be good, okay? Right here. I know I've got this image right here. Here we go, okay? Boom. Now, all right, we're even now. There's Trump as an ape. Boom. All right. Gray Fox Tactical says, Jeremy, you ain't old, kiddo. Enjoy your youth while you have it, my friend. I appreciate that. I don't feel old, but my age tells me I'm old. I feel like I'm in my mid-20s, but my age says a different story. And the world of the internet, time moves so fast. So I do feel like I'm in my mid-20s. I act like I'm in my teens. And I'm a very immature person. So there you have it. You know, that's a king. You're damn right. That is the king. Swirly BS says, I'm a lucky man. Look at there. Hail to you, brother. Hail to you. All right, let's get back to this.
For the same people who were totally fine with Joe Biden saying, hey, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black, right? You remember Joe Biden?
Oh, yeah.
Super predators. You remember that, right? Everybody remembers that. These people had no problems with it. They had no problems when Hillary Clinton was on the Breakfast Club talking about she keep hot sauce in her bag everywhere she goes, right? Black people too dumb to vote, okay, or use a computer. You got Graham Plattner, who's running for Senate in Maine, running around with a Nazi tattoo, like literally a Nazi tattoo, running around with a Nazi tattoo, okay, Nazi tattoo. Yeah. No, I'm not getting on board with fake performative outrage with the same people who decided that it's totally fine, it's totally okay to vote for Jay Jones. Okay, the same guy who openly fantasized in text message about killing Republicans and their children, right? Democrats, when they were confronted about him and denouncing him, what do they do? What do they do? You talk about a guy in private text messages running for attorney general, top cop in Virginia. What did prominent Democrats do when this was exposed to the public that he was openly fantasizing about killing Republicans and their children? What was Democrats in their response?
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just make sure. Will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? And were you aware of these text messages before they released? You have 30 seconds.
In fact, it appears that it was those who released the text messages and held them for years. So the public was unaware who had knowledge of these text messages for many years.
What did you do about
I learned of these text messages the day that they came out, and I denounced them as soon as I learned of them.
She denounces murder.
And importantly, at this
It's evil Madam Savvy. Oh my goodness. She's probably here in the chat. Savvy, are you watching? The chat says this is evil Madam Savvy.
this point, as we move forward, the voters now have this information that was withheld for them.
You're running to be
presumably for
Ms. Earl Sayers,
political
please.
reasons. But the voters now have the information, and it is up to voters to make an individual choice based on this information.
Ms. Spanberger, I understand what you're saying about the voters, but for you yourself, do you still continue to endorse Jay Jones? 15 seconds, yes or no?
We are all running our individual races. I believe my opponent has said that about her lieutenant governor nominee.
Ms. Earl Sayers,
And it's
Ms.
up
Earl
to
Sayers.
every person to make their own decision. I am running my race to serve Virginia, and that is what I intend.
A scandal over text messages in which he, the Democrat, said that the GOP Speaker of the House of Delegates should get 2 bullets to the head for how he paid tribute to a former moderate Democratic lawmaker who died. He has apologized.
Zero outrage from the left over this. Zero. Trump shares a meme. Or actually, he didn't even share the meme. He shared a election fraud video, and the autoplay on the meme rolled next. And they are acting like it's January 6th level nonsense all over again, which again, January 6th, they're pretending was 9/11 level, because this is how they do it. They just have to. This is their new January 6th right here. This is the new one.
Should he get out of the race?
Well, that's up to the people, the leaders in Virginia. They have said he has apologized. What I understand is they say that on balance, he's the better person to be attorney general. But that's up to them. But I wish there would be enough fuss of all the times that people have said they were going to put a bullet in my head right in public.
So shifting shifting the blame to the MAGA right-wingers because that's what she's going to imply. She's going to imply that MAGA right-wingers have always said these things to me, and there's no outrage.
And the public.
Senator, because a lot of people look at this and I think they ask the question, if this were a Republican, would you be calling for him to drop out of the race?
Absolutely not. It's directly equivalent to things that the Republican gubernatorial candidate has publicly said, not in private text. Murder is murder, and your time will come. She said that in a public meeting speaking about pro-choice activists. I've not called for her to drop out of the race. The voters began voting in Virginia on September 19th. These are fair items for voters to consider as they cast their vote. But no, we're not calling for Republicans to drop out of races. We do say apologize.
What? This is literally all you guys do. And you got Kate really upset in the chat right there. Psycho Biznatch, Abigail Spamalot. You got Kate very upset.
You have to take account for your actions, and voters can look at the actions and look at your sincerity if you apologize. Apologies are in short supply in politics these days.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me that the same people who could not crack their lips to unendorse and to call for the top cop candidate of Virginia to drop out of the race after being caught openly fantasizing about Republicans being assassinated and their children too, right? And also police too. You mean to tell me that I'm supposed to grovel to these people, that we're supposed to come out here and say, oh, Trump, what you posted was so racist. You need to apologize because we don't want Democrats to believe that you're racist. Yeah, nah, it's not gonna happen, right? It's just not gonna happen. Not for me. You're not gonna see it for me. You might see it for some other people who.
Well, I see people memeing on this right here. So I saw this post. I can see the sarcasm. I'm a huge Trump supporter. 2016, 2020, 24. Today, I saw an intern posted a clip of to Trump's account that briefly shows a different clip that has ape-like characters of the Obamas. That's it. I'm done. I am now voting for baby murder, open borders, and regular murder. This is so perfect. This is so perfect. I appreciate the sarcasm here. Damn good. Damn good.
Oh, hey, they do what they want to do, but you're not going to see it from me. You're not going to see it from me. These people think that Trump is racist no matter what. It doesn't matter what he does. Clearly, what was posted was not something that was done on purpose, right? Clearly, it was not something that was malicious, right? And that wasn't even the intent. The intent of the video had nothing to do with what these people are upset about. But again, these are the same people who have nothing to say about, liberals running around calling black people who are simply just, defending the law, right? Defending our country from foreign invaders inwards. Like, for example, we have another video that is going viral of some liberal, probably a white liberal, calling minorities the N-word.
No! Fuck are you doing? Move around! Move around! Move around! What's your name? Oh, you some fucking hoes! You some fucking hoes! Oh, and you're black! What? You're next! You're next!
These are the people that are online. These are the white leftists that are online virtue signaling right now about Black Lives Matter, about how everyone is racist and we need to give all of our money to black people. These are the white liberals that are doing that.
I don't want shit! Fuck you! It's a shit! Fuck you! Show me, bitch! Fuck! You fucking serious? Fuck you! Fuck you! What the fuck?
Yeah. So clearly not a black person, right? Not a black person saying your next N-word, right? Again, this is not the first video that we've talked about of white liberals.
She's single.
Just dropping in bombs at minorities, right? Simply for, enforcing the law, right? Doing what they're told, okay, doing their jobs. But where have Democrats been? Have Democrats denounced these videos, right? Have Democrats said anything about this? Hey, you should be calling minorities N-words just because they work for ICE? No. It's been silent. It's been crickets. Where's the liberal media been, right? Could you imagine if some Trump supporter was caught on video, at some abortion clinic calling a black doctor, right? Or a black nurse, somebody just doing their job at an abortion center, an N-word?
Bro, the memes are absolutely legendary right now. I'm seeing them all over my timeline. End racism. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man. Don't worry. Swirly BS is under adult supervision, and that is Mrs. Swirly BS. Mama is here, and she is in control. That is relationship goals right there. Thank you. We appreciate it. Awesome. That's good stuff right there. Hell yeah. Even the chat, getting a little misty-eyed in the chat. You're like, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
Right? Could you imagine what the liberal media would say? It would be all over the news, right? Oh, see, this is an example of just how racist Trump supporters are. They think that you're an N-word. They call you an N-word, right? But when liberals do it, oh, well, see, liberal media ain't really got much to say about that, right? We don't really see too much, right? There's no outrage here. So again, why should I be outraged and upset about a meme that was accidentally posted by the president that depicts Obama or the Obamas, Michelle and Barack Obama, as monkeys, that when you look at the broader context of where the meme came from, like clearly it was a flip. It wasn't something that was posted on.
But even if it, but again, I haven't heard back from him yet, but like I pretty much recall that I feel like I remember him posting the original meme and there was no outrage because the original meme had the full context to it. I could be wrong about this, but it doesn't matter. If he would have posted it, who would have cared? Nobody that mattered.
On purpose. When you look at the broader video, it's just a meme, right? Of Democrats as animals in the jungle, right? And Trump is the king of the jungle. Why should I be upset about that, right? Why do I need to come out here and to do the tap dance that some of these Republicans are doing, right? Mr. President, you need to denounce this. You need to apologize. Why? Apologize for what? What is an apology going to get you? What is it going to get you? These people think Trump is racist no matter what. The people who are crying about this already think that Trump is racist. An apology does not.
Yeah, that he's 100% right. Like they already believe, well, most of them don't even believe Trump is racist, but that's the narrative that gets them the most attention. And as I've said many times, Donald Trump is such a powerful, kind of a figure on multiple sides, but there's a huge economy to be a fake Trump supporter and get clout out of it. And there's a huge economy to be a fake Trump hater and get clout out of that. It's just how big of a deal he is, and his name is that powerful. And so being on that side of it and just being like Trump racist, Trump bad, you're going to get a ton of support and a ton of traction on social media. And so these people, regardless if they truly believe it or not, they're so deep into this narrative that that's just something they're going to repeat because it pays very well for them.
Nothing, but basically confirms in their mind that, yeah, he is a racist, right? So what's the point? There's no point. And that's the problem with Republicans. Republicans are weak. When Democrats, when their people mess up, again, like, for example, when a top cop candidate in Virginia, talking about attorney general, when, you know, he gets exposed, fantasizing about assassinating his political opponent, Democrats say, well, you know, I don't know if he should drop out. I don't know if I should unendorse him, right? They just keep moving. They roll with it. They don't apologize on his behalf. They don't do any of that. They don't even demand an apology. They don't talk about it. They just keep it moving. Guess what? Democrat voters in Virginia went out and voted for the guy anyways, right? Voted for him anyways. But yet we're supposed to grovel over a meme? Nah.
Well, luckily you're not, and I'm not, and many people aren't, but you have clowns like Tim Scott and a few others that are absolutely bending the knee to this and pushing this nonsensical narrative. And so they're getting, sadly, they've gotten what they wanted out of this. When somebody like Tim Scott addressed it and said that it was so racist, he couldn't believe how racist it was. Like, they've already gotten what they wanted out of it. It's ridiculous. Star Wars Rising for 20 says the actual video Trump posted is evidence of a stolen election, something very important to him. Why would he intentionally add that to the end of the video? All it would do is take away from the video and give the left ammo. Yeah, it's. I mean, I know some people are going to say, well, Trump is working, you know, 4D chess, 5D chess to get people to talk more about the video. No, it's like there's two conversations to have. Number one is the outrage is fake and it's manufactured. That's just absolutely 100%. All right. The other conversation is the fact of, I firmly believe that there was no intent behind posting the video. I believe the intent was the election fraud aspect of it. I don't believe that anyone was posting it with the intent of the meme to offend anyone or get anybody worked up or outraged. However, that's what happened. Simple as that. We'll see what happens. Swirly BS says, help me. And he's just slamming the keyboard. He's just slamming the keyboard. Thank you for the 10. Trans Girly says, hey, Big D, how's it hanging? I have like a 90 to 95% male audience. So I'm not going to answer the question because the heavy majority of my audience is not interested in how it's hanging. But thank you for the super chat. Fantastic Knox says that good day and hail. So there's protesters in Minnesota who chained it themselves and demanding the university to be a sanctuary for non-Americans. Cops came and arrested 3, white and privileged. Absolutely white and privileged every single time. Sith Lord Maga says, go Team USA. MJ says they need to add George to that meme. Little Jim Salo says, in the year 2000, there was an estimated 500,000 Muslims in Europe. Now there are 50 million. That's what they wanted to happen to the U.S. Correct. Emo says, let's see. Do you like Brother Love? I think he's hilarious. It's my Bruce Pritchard. When he was Brother Love, I thought he was hilarious back in the day in WWF. So absolutely. Teresa says, like I said, innocent until proven guilty, except for Trump. Every time. Dinah says, I don't have black fatigue. I have the black plague. Send help. Phil says, I would ask her why I would ask her, why are there slaves in Africa right now? Lydia Mex Game says, have you watched Trump's most recent gaggle? If you're talking about the one that I just played here a few minutes ago, yes. Sadly. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I do think he's playing into their games way too much, in my opinion. Fentanyl Floyd says, watch out for the black pillars on the right already maneuvering for 28. They'll hype up the midterm losses, claiming it's time to move on from MAGA. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Narco for a $100 MAGA red super chat says, adult supervision. What is that? Hail chat. Mod lives matter. Hail to you, Narco 42 with the MAGA red super chat. And by the way, again, for those that have not, please make sure you subscribe to Greg's channel, Black Conservative Perspective. He is awesome. I like I was telling you the other day, I mean, he just does such a good job of putting this stuff together. And, you know, I mean, I don't need to ask for anyone's permission to react to their stuff, but I do it out of respect because I do respect him. I respect his work. And, you know, if he felt like, and I would have never made it public. I would have never said, like, Greg told me I can't respond. But he was cool with it. And so I told him, I said, I'm just asking out of respect, bro, because he does awesome work. So I appreciate him. So make sure, Moz, drop a link. Make sure you go subscribe to him. He's about to hit 1 million subscribers, but he does great daily uploads. Gavin Free, let's see, it says, did they go this wild when Biden said, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, you ain't black? No, they didn't. No, they did not. Not at all. L-Wing Secret Garden says, this is going to be the media's new good people on both sides outrage. My eyes have rolled so far back in my head, I can now identify as blind. Yep. Dave says, they cheered when the leftist called the black ICE agent a house R word. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Slain Hope says, where's all this outrage for Antifa dropping hard R's? These people are soulless, moralist demons who call blacks the hard R while calling us racist. Projection every time. Jay's half Asian son says, my dad's ashamed of this picture. Narco says, that's a silverback I'd vote for. Oh, wait, I did. Guinea Pig with a fanny pack says, this has to be one of the most literal examples of the media focusing on 1% of something and ignoring the other 99% of the context and content. MAGA. Jay's half Asian son says, savvy meme in Discord already, Jeremy. Oh, boy. Scared to even look at it. Heather the Great One says, how am I supposed to sleep when all I hear is weehee, deehee? I've got to be careful. I don't know if you're trying to trick me to say something. Let's see. Slain Hope says, every leftist is a hard R. Guinea Pig with a fanny pack says, all these people sniveling and clutching their pearls are theater kids. They know the script and the show must go on. Their show sucks, so I'll watch G&G. Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Kate for 10 says, we are going to be ruled by psychopaths here in Virginia. What most people may not realize, Northern Virginia voters are the recipient of Doge. 4 counties in Virginia is effing everything up. I am so sorry to hear that. I didn't realize it was that bad. And that's why it's nice to hear boots on the ground, direct, people that have direct knowledge of the situation, sharing your experiences here so that more people can be aware of it. So that's, it's obviously sad to hear, but I'm glad you're able to inform us. Jim says, I have leftard fatigue, as do I. Another thing that we're starting to get fatigue on, actually, before we move on, apparently Trump said this, which is a perfect answer. What is your message to the many Americans who are offended by the video? I really have no message.
Storylines. That'd be great.
What's the message to the many Americans who were offended by the video?
I didn't know about it, so it went up. I really have no message. All I know is, here's my message: that our country has never been in a position like this. We were a laughing stock all over the world, and now we're a country that's respected more than we've ever been respected before.
Great answer.
You go back a year and a half ago.
When he actually, here's what I think. When he actually looks into the full context of all of this, I think he's going to change his tune a little bit. But this was a perfect answer.
Our country was a laughing stock, and now we're respected all over the world, like probably almost never before. I would say maybe like never before. And it's if you look at from an economic standpoint, the King of Saudi Arabia said it, others said it. We were not a country that was even thought of as a country that was going to make it back. And in 1 year, we're the hottest country. We are right now the hottest country anywhere in the world. So that's my message. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
President. Thank you.
So good answer from Trump there. But yeah, I think once he looks into this a little more, he's gonna be like, wait a minute, this is the whole context of everything. This is dumb. Why are people even? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, like look at what Look at what Tim Scott said. Praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. God. Oh my God. It's so painful, dude. It's so freaking painful to listen to these people pretend to be offended over something. Oh my goodness, dude. What are we doing? Good. Oh. And like, there was one other thing, if I can find it, that right here. No, it was another one. Because there was like it was some guy that was responding to it right here. I haven't watched this one yet. But who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. I love President Trump's sense of humor. Okay.
Oh, look at this. Here's a post that President Trump put on Truth Social with Barack Hussein Obama and Michelle Obama. And the left, they're losing their minds. You think that President Trump doesn't have every right to put a meme out there? He didn't create this meme. This meme is old. This meme, what you're seeing, is from last year or even before last year. In 2024, I remember seeing this. Now you're losing your mind simply because President Trump shared it because it was at the end of a clip that he shared for information that you don't want to talk about. And it's interesting that you want to talk about this section of the video, but you don't want to talk about what was in the video before this section of the video. You're a bunch of hypocrites. President Trump has every right to do anything he wants to with his freedom of speech. This is still considered freedom of speech. And you know what? It's not racist. It's not racist at all. What happened to you believing in evolution? Remember, all of you leftist lunatic liberals, you believe in evolution, evolution. This is evolution right here.
Even he couldn't keep a straight face.
Evolution. Remember, all of you leftist lunatic liberals, you believe in evolution, evolution. This is evolution right here. It's evolution. Why are you denying it? Why are you denying it? Oh, now you're going to deny it. Look, they tried to do to President Trump what no one ever should do. They try to permanently sleep Trump. And you're upset about this? He has every right to do it. I'm not even mad about it. I'm not even mad about it. Look at all of the stuff that y'all say about President Trump. Blatant lies. The whole thing with the Epstein files, blatant lies. The whole thing calling him a supremacist, that and supremacist this, trying to say that he's a Hitler figure. You keep saying these nasty things, but he puts out a meme and then you lose your minds. Why don't you stop all of your hateful rhetoric? Why don't you stop it? I like his sense of humor. You gotta love it. My name is Will Johnson. Like, follow, and subscribe.
He's good, man. That's the first time I've ever heard this dude. So he follows me. Shit, I didn't even know that. I'll follow him back. So there we have it right there. So if you guys want to go check him out, that's good stuff right there. So hell yeah, man. Good stuff indeed. Swirly BS for 20 says, Miss Swirly BS is very smart and loves her spouse very much. Please show Mel as an example of male proudness. Please show Mel, like Mel Gibson. Is that what you want? Is that what you're asking? I need clarification. You don't have to send a super chat. Just, I need clarification. I don't have anything for the ladies on standby. But that was a good video right there. Sabaton says Kate. Mel Brooks. Oh, Mel Gibson. Okay, he says yes, Mel Gibson. You know what? I got something. I'll show her some Mel Gibson. How about this? Okay. Here we go. All right. Now, ladies, I need you to control yourself on what you're going to see. Okay. I need you to control yourself. All right. But let me just show you the alpha male himself. There is Mel Gibson rocking Crocs. Based alpha Giga Chad rocking some Crocs. Oh, yeah. There's Mel Gibson rocking the Crocs like an alpha male would, because he don't give a damn. Here is Mel Gibson rocking the Crocs. Let's go. Not giving a single fuck. Seriously, like not a single fuck. All right. Look at it right here. Look at Mel. He doesn't give a damn. Hell yeah, man. Because you know what Crocs are about? Confidence. Because they're comfortable and you know you're going to have a bunch of people judging you. And you just have to say, I don't give a shit. They're comfortable. You can think they're ugly. You can think they're stupid. I don't care because they're comfortable. Do I have mine in here? No, I don't have mine in here right now. Yeah, the passion of the Crocs. Mel Gibson doesn't give a damn. So there we have it. And then the best video of all, right here, good old Mel Gibson. Let me see if I can pull this up. And this is great. This is like my favorite thing ever. So here's Mel Gibson saluting President Trump at the UFC event. So you will see, and this is where you know it's genuine and authentic, because Mel Gibson's just in the crowd and he is just saluting President Trump while he's in the crowd. So freaking funny. Here we go. Look at it. Look at it. Everybody else has got their phones out. They're smiling. They're waving. They're cheering. Mel Gibson's like, hello, sir. I'm at your service, sir. Whatever you need, sir. You gotta love it, dude. Trump soldier at his service. Yep. There you go, Swirly BS. You sent us down that rabbit hole. That was a pretty good rabbit hole, too. There we go. Jim, I got that one. OG Stackadala for 10 says, not important, but did you see Shinedown's tweet? They backed out of the Rock of the Country after bashing Ludacris for dropping out. I did not see that. I did not see that one. I'll have to check that one out. I did not aware of that. Heather, the great one, says, I can't sleep because you talking about Awima? I got you. Okay, I got you now. All right, I got you. Ilidium X Game. So what Don Lemon did was free speech, but the meme Trump posted was not. Rules for thee, not for me. Burb Shit says, Big Mike's dangling dong helps with climbing the trees. Yikes. Jim says, your next Florida governor hasn't said a word about it. Talking about Byron Donalds. Correct. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Joe C says, William Johnson's channel was huge. It got taken down by YouTube during the lockdowns and stolen election. He's slowly rebuilding. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good information to have. Heartbreak Zero says, Mel, give me back my Crocs. So with that said, we have, I mean, personally, okay, here's where this story is getting kind of crazy. It's getting even weirder. You know what story we're about to bring up? Check this out, okay? The Guthrie family story. What did I say? I said it feels like a TV show or a movie. Remember? Okay. Well, guess what just happened? They went full Silence of the Lambs. I'm not kidding.
Siblings posted to their mother. This week, the Instagram message that Savannah and her siblings posted to their mother and to her suspected captors. They dropped it on...
For those of you that are not familiar with this story, I've covered it quite a bit the last few days. Samantha Guthrie is a host of the Today Show. She's a liberal. She's a Trump hater. And her 80-something-year-old mother went missing several days ago. And the story is completely confusing in every aspect of it. It feels like an inside job with the family. It feels like it could be like an insurance scam or something like that. But there's a lot to this. There's a lot of layers to it. There's ransom notes. There's people asking for Bitcoin money. There's been holes in the whole story. President Trump has gotten involved in it. President Trump has put the FBI and the federal government on this story, and the local law enforcement have looked completely stupid through this whole process. The more you look into it, the more questions are starting to pop up. I continue to meme on it and say that it feels like an episode of Breaking Bad. But this new development that Megyn Kelly talks about right here takes it to even a crazier place that I was memeing on, because I was memeing. This is crazy what she talks about right here.
Wednesday evening, and we talked about how it was strange. This is not a judgment of how they handled themselves. This is an observation about the odd messaging and whether it means something, whether it was potentially directed by the kidnapper to be an acknowledgement of something. It was just so odd in the way it was presented and phrased. And that could have been completely just at law enforcement's direction for reasons we don't understand, or it could have been some sort of a signal that was asked for by a kidnapper, or it could have just been the family's choices while under duress. We don't know, but we're trying to figure out what we can. This part in particular is coming back to surface, and we'll explain why, and pay particularly close attention to the ending. Watch.
So this is a video this is Samantha Guthrie, the CBS chick at the forefront, and then her siblings. And this came off like a hostage video, and it just doesn't feel... Something is completely off with this whole story about how it's handled, especially when you're talking about people that work in media and they have been in media for a long time. And so the way that this thing is playing out does not feel right at all. But the last line here is crazy. Just watch. Because again, I was already weirded out by this before this new information dropped.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She is funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
Talk to her and you'll see.
Talk to her and you'll see.
Now, this is why the internet is undefeated. Watch this next part.
It's kind of an interesting phrase. And notice how Savannah's sister Annie seems to take a deep breath at that very moment. It sounds like a phrase we might have heard before, and online sleuths confirm indeed we probably have. They discovered that line is from the 1991 horror crime film Silence of the Lambs.
What? What is happening right now? It's a direct line from the Silence of the Lambs.
Before we play the clip, let me tell you what the movie's about. Most of you know, but some of our audience is younger and may not. The main character, Clarice Starling, is played by Jodie Foster. Starling is investigating the kidnapping of Catherine Martin, the 25-year-old daughter of the fictional Senator
Clarice
Ruth
did not
Martin.
say it. No.
Catherine, the daughter, has been kidnapped by Buffalo Bill, a serial killer who skins his female victims. In the scene where the phrase "talk to her and you'll see" is used, it's the kidnapping victim's mother, Senator Ruth Martin, sending a message to her daughter's captor. Watch.
Yes.
Our top story for this morning.
Silence of the Lambs is one of the great movies you will see. It is the definition of top tier acting, and it is a chilling, haunting movie. It's fan-freaking-tastic.
Catherine Martin, the 25-year-old daughter of Senator Ruth Martin, listed first as a missing person, is now believed to have been kidnapped by the serial killer known only as Buffalo Bill. Memphis police sources indicate that the missing girl's blouse has been identified, sliced up the back in what has become a kind of grim, all too familiar calling card. Young Catherine Martin, as we've said, is the only daughter of U.S. Senator Ruth Martin, the Republican junior senator from Tennessee. And while her kidnapping is not at this point considered to be politically motivated, nevertheless, it has stirred the government to its highest levels. Reach for comment on the ski slopes of Stowe, Vermont. The president himself said to be, and I quote, intensely concerned. Just moments ago, Senator Martin takes this dramatic personal plea.
I'm speaking now to the person who's holding my daughter. Catherine is very gentle and kind. Talk to her and you'll see.
What is happening?
You heard that right at the end? Let's watch them back to back.
She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
I'm speaking now to the person who's holding my daughter. Catherine is very gentle and kind. Talk to her and you'll see.
Bro, this is the weirdest thing ever. We live in a simulation. We live in a simulation. Holy crap. Now, this is why this is why this story has been so interesting to me. I am not interested because I think that something crazy has happened that the mainstream is reporting or that law enforcement is reporting. I believe there's some shady shit going on. All right. I believe there's some shady stuff going on because none of this has felt right from the beginning. And the more you look into it, the worse it gets, the more questionable it gets. And I don't believe that they wanted the attention of the Trump administration to highlight it, to put this national lens on it now because it's everywhere.
Friends, how kind the person is, and end with talk to her and you'll see. Now, we're not the only ones who noticed this, and it's getting a lot of attention on social media today. It is one of many, many, many developments that we need to go through. We're going to try to unpack what this means and more with Drop Dead Serious podcast host and long-term crime reporter, among other kinds of reporting, Ashley Banfield. Ashley, welcome back.
Is she still around? I haven't seen her in forever. Swirly BS for 50 says, say, Mrs. Swirly BS, don't burn my nuggies in the air fryer. Far left will never surprise me because they don't have our compass or any. Do not. The one thing you can't do is burn the nuggies in the air fryer. You can't do that. That is a deal breaker. And I have it on good authority that in a court of law, you will lose everything. If the man tells the judge, she burned my nuggies in the air fryer, the judge will side with the man every time. Just a rumor. Just a rumor. But I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Okay?
It is an eerie similarity, and the choice of words could be completely coincidental, or it might not be. It could be something the FBI suggested, something much in the way, if you ever watched that movie Contagion during the pandemic, starring Matt Damon, it had what the CDC would do in the case of a pandemic so exact.
Well, we don't want to go through all of this with just them because that is one story. This was like several hours ago, but it's getting even kind of more and more complicated. This was just a few hours ago right here. More details, meaning more confusion.
We're piecing together key parts of the last known moments before Nancy Guthrie disappeared. On the left, a map showing the potential route that Nancy was driven home on from dinner at her daughter Annie's home in Tucson. You'll see two images taken by our Fox team on the ground showing traffic cameras along much of that route. And on the right is a video of this potential route. What happened after she got home and who exactly dropped her off remains a critical unknown. Let's bring in James Galliano, former FBI supervisory agent. James, thanks so much for being with us. I wanted to ask you, first of all, about the blood that was found. It was found on the front porch. Significant enough?
You think it's all a hoax, says Prophet SD. I think that based on what we have, I think that the family is directly involved in some capacity. That's what I think. And I think that again, I'm not an expert. I'm just a retarded YouTuber. But I also have, I think, some common sense. And based on everything we've seen, it seems like that there is some family involved in this.
To be able to be subject to DNA analysis. But it would seem not enough to represent any kind of life-threatening injury because the sheriff believes that she's still alive.
Yeah, John, that's a great point. Now, I understand that there are blood thinners out there for a woman that might have had the condition, the heart condition that Miss Guthrie had, like Coumadin and things like that, that cause you to bleed from a paper cut. Look, John, you have me on to kind of demystify these processes and protocols. I have never, and I'm a student of the game, I've worked kidnappings, I've overseen crisis management in New York City for the FBI, hostage negotiations, hostage rescue, that kind of stuff. I have never been so confounded and baffled by the fact pattern in a case. We know this. We know that kidnappings are typically for one of two reasons. They're either for profit or they're for revenge. John, we don't even know if this was a targeted attack yet. It's the more that we learn on this, John, the more confusing it becomes.
Yes, that's why I am so fascinated by this, because the more we learn, the more crazy it gets. And the more crazy it gets, the more it seems like it's not that crazy. It's actually simple. It's actually very simple. And this is goes back to when I was growing up, like my dad teaching me how to work on cars. And he's like, when you have a problem with your car, you don't automatically go to the engine or the transmission. You start out small. And more often than not, if you have a relatively newer vehicle, or if you've kept maintenance up in your vehicle, a fucking fuse can create so many problems. A bad fuse can make you think that your car is completely effed. It's just a fuse, just knocking things out of whack. It's usually a wiring problem or a fuse or something like that. You start out small and you work your way up. And it's usually something really simple, but you thought it was complicated. The more this gets confusing, it's because we've been looking in the wrong place the whole time. Now, for the ladies, you have to put gas in your car for it to run. I know a lot of you are completely shocked by that, but you actually have to put gas in your car when it says you need gas in your car. I know a lot of ladies my car just stopped. I was just driving it and then it just stopped. Well, did you fucking put gas in it? Well, do you have to do that? Yes, you have to put gas in your car, ladies.
Yeah, we don't know if this ransom note is legitimate or not. Authorities are treating it and taking it seriously. They believe that there were some things inside the note that point to intimate knowledge of what happened that evening. We had Harvey Levin saying that there was this idea of positioning of the watch. That she had a watch. Maybe she left it on a counter. Maybe she left it to charge. She probably would have had her phone nearby because she had a pacemaker, and the pacemaker checks in with an app. So all of that taken together might suggest that her electronic devices were on charge.
Don't put gas in your e-car. Well, that's I don't. I'm of the belief, because I'm not a Tesla guy, But I am of the belief that I believe all women should drive self-driving cars. And I think that would make the roads a lot safer. I do believe that. I'm not a fan of electric cars, but I do believe that all women should drive self-driving vehicles, and we would be in a much safer society.
And you could surmise that that might happen, but it does also suggest intimate knowledge of the scene. What do you think?
So let's break down the fact pattern on this. So we know that there was probably, from the time she was dropped off at the home, around 10 o'clock until it was alerted that she had not come to church around noon the next day. We're talking of a period of 14 hours. We think that somebody or some people may have been in her home. You're describing some of the digital exhaust that we're working off of in the law enforcement investigative realm. We think there might have been a 1 hour, 45 minute to 1 hour period where that might have happened.
It's the Salamanca twins. I'm telling you, I've seen this landscape. I've seen it. It's the Salamanca twins. That's who did it. Why aren't they calling me? Why aren't they reaching out to me? If you just hit me up, Kash Patel, bring me out to Arizona. I can solve this problem. All we got to do is watch Breaking Bad, and we will have everything solved. Simple as that.
John, what's so baffling and beguiling about this, the captors, the people that abducted Mrs. Guthrie, typically speaking, and going back to the Lindbergh baby kidnapping in 1932, captors do not want this public. They want to deal directly with the family. They want a backdoor channel. These abductors did it completely differently. They went to TMZ, they went to a local news outlet, and they're not responding to the family's beseeching request to please contact them. It makes no sense, John.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't add up. I was also doing some experiments because I've got a similar pacemaker to Nancy Guthrie. I was doing some experiments with it. My phone checks in with it every 3 minutes. So it disconnecting, I think it was at 2:28, that it would seem to represent an approximate time that she went out of proximity to her phone. But we'll see what comes of this. James, thanks for being with us. Appreciate your expertise so much.
Again, why aren't they reaching out to me? I have all the answers, yet for some reason, they don't want to hit me up. Maybe they don't want to solve the problem, okay? Maybe that's not what they want to do. I mean, but like, it's as simple as this right here. Okay, check this out. Look at this. If I can find it. Boom, boom. All right. Thought that I had it. Maybe I didn't. But all right, right here. Check this out. Okay. I have video of what happened. I have video of them crawling into her house undetected by cameras. Here it is right here. See, they crawled undetected. Come on, man, bring me in. I got you. I got you. Why is this not, like, seriously? Why aren't you reaching out to me? Like, I don't see what the big deal is, you know? So have you ever seen that one meme right here? Maybe it's on let's see. It was such a good one the other day that I saw. And it's right here. This right Mexico, not Mexico. Holy shit. That's how Breaking Bad operates. Put that color palette on. Now we're in Mexico. Not in Mexico. Oh man. But here we've got, so let me see, I saw that they had, okay, so FBI
again on the ground in Tucson, Arizona.
FBI tows vehicle away from Nancy Guthrie's property. Here we go.
That's where we find our chief correspondent, Jonathan Hunt. He has the latest breaking developments on the search for Nancy Guthrie. Evening, Jonathan.
Good evening, Kevin. And there are a lot of late-breaking developments. The FBI have been on the scene of Nancy Guthrie's house for about 5 hours now. And within the last hour, they towed away a vehicle from that property. We believe that it's the same vehicle that we...
Why is it like it? Aren't we like 6 or 7 days beyond this woman missing, and now the FBI is towing vehicles away? What the hell are they doing?
have seen before, parked in Nancy Guthrie's garage. Tonight, it has been taken away, towed away, presumably for further examination. Now, earlier in the day, we saw FBI agents also up on the roof of Nancy Guthrie's house. They were approaching a ladder.
Okay, these are women. You know what? Let's just continue on.
On the corner near a floodlight there. And then also we saw them on the roof of another building, a sort of outhouse building of this property. It's a smaller building, and you could see them there leaning over, taking something that looked as though it might be another
FBI.
camera, taking it away from there, obviously, again, for further examination. It may be a camera we have not heard about before. And then remember these floodlights that the FBI said were mentioned in the original ransom note. Well, we zoomed in on the back of that house today with our drone team. You can see a floodlight there that has clearly been badly damaged. It will be very interesting to see what the FBI makes of that as well, given what was said in the ransom note prior to that. Now, given all of these developments today, Kevin, it was really interesting to hear President Trump aboard Air Force One tonight tease what he seemed to suggest is an imminent breakthrough. Listen here.
Could be definitive. A lot's taken place in the last couple of hours. A lot of things have happened with regard to that horrible situation in the last couple of hours.
Now, one further note on this second message that has apparently been received from a purported kidnapper, Kevin. It did not, according to the local news station that got it here, it did not contain the proof of life that the Guthrie family so obviously want to see. Kevin.
There's been so many of these stories that over the years that have blown up. You know, like what was that story a couple of years ago? It was the girl and the guy that took the RV around the country, and they even made a Netflix documentary on it. What was that story? If somebody says the name, I'll remember it. What was that name? Gabby Petito. That's it. Yes, Gabby Petito. Thank you, chat. I did not give a flying F around that story. I know a lot of people got a lot of traction off of that one. I just didn't care. There was another one too. There was like a murder mystery. There's been a couple of these over the last few years, and I just didn't care. John Benet Ramsey was way before my time on YouTube. Yeah, there was another one too that I'm trying to remember. For the reason that this one's interesting to me is simply because of the Savannah Guthrie and how she has TDS. That's really my interest level here. I'm like, oh, she has TDS and Trump is helping her now. Interesting. Okay. So I want to see how this whole thing plays out and what the potential is, but it is very interesting how many holes in the story there is. And it looks like they had another update right here. Infrared drone.
Fox News alert. You're looking live at Nancy Guthrie through an infrared drone operated by our Fox flight team as police continue searching the property. Retired NYPD Inspector Paul Morrow is also in Tucson. I mean, this is pretty incredible footage we're looking at right here. It looks like a team of agents are coming in and out of the house, in and out of the garage, Paul. You talked about a camera that was discovered on the roof. Do you think that was part of the just regular surveillance, or was that?
Is that like, are they? you're 6 days into this woman missing, and now 6 days later, we're like, hey, we're towing a car. We're finding a camera. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Wildlife.
You know, I wish I knew. I haven't even seen an image of it yet because of where I'm positioned here at the sheriff's office. It would make sense to have a wildlife camera perhaps on the roof, but who knows? Maybe there's a skylight or something that people feared they could get in through in the past that was covered over. I mean, anything really here is possible here without being up on a roof and seeing it. But I do say to myself, you know, would you not have searched the roof and even at the other house originally, just because, you know, the buildings here are all one story and they're quite low. And, you know, I would have to say to myself, if I was going to do a really thorough search, what if they just threw like a knife or something up onto the roof during the course of the thing? So I am surprised that something like this hadn't been found earlier, but
Everything about this story is insane. Everything. Roof was too slanted. Oh, no. We all remember that story.
maybe it's not going to be much help because, as we know, that all the other cameras were all wired in a way that they didn't feed the cloud. And as a result, there's no footage to be found.
All right, so the second note that comes in, it's a second IP address. So it's different. The police aren't able to exploit it. This guy's obviously very sophisticated. But the fact that a second note may have been sent, I mean, that has to give so much hope to the Guthries, who are sitting here dealing with what they thought was just a blank stare and basically a clock ticking down to death on Monday. How much momentum does this give this investigation and negotiation?
Spoiler alert. She more than likely is no longer with us. It's like an old lady who needs medication. Her pacemaker stopped working. They found blood at the scene at her house. I don't think there's any chance that this lady's still alive.
If it does indeed open up a line of communication, that is a major break. Because up until now, if the ransomers here they've been so indifferent.
And if she's alive, it's because this was not a legitimate kidnapping. Like there's such little chance that this woman is still alive. There's such little chance.
That it made you question the entire construction of what's going on here. Is it not an actual ransom situation? Are they not interested in getting paid? Is there some other motive? Is another group involved? I've had ransomware cases where the original bad guys are being assisted by another set of bad guys. You never know who you're negotiating with. So if they've actually been able to confirm that they're talking to the real bad guys, that is the major break in this thing. Now, one of the ways to be able to tell how much authenticity to give this for the two notes is if the IP address you can easily obfuscate. They did it once, they could do it again. You use the onion router, you bounce it around the world. That's the most simple way to do it, and it's easily done. It's very hard to break. But the thing I would be looking for to prove it's the same person is, did they put in the Bitcoin wallet? Assuming they want to get paid so badly, and that's what they're pressing for, if they put that long string of numerals into the second note, which is so unique, no, it's not out, nobody could ever guess it, you'd immediately say to yourself, this is the same person. And then you'd have to start to say to yourself, this is a pretty sophisticated operation, and maybe these notes are the real deal.
Yeah.
So I saw someone say, is this lady famous or something? So the old lady is the mother of Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie is right here. So that's Savannah Guthrie with her mother. And
while we're denouncing,
Savannah Guthrie is the woman in this interview right here with President Trump, where she basically wanted President Trump to denounce every bad thing that's ever happened in the history of the world. And she wanted him to denounce that the Democratic Party was not a bunch of, crazy devil worshiping, pedophiles.
let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true
So,
and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is
If
a
you'd like me
satanic
to
cult run by the deep
study
state.
the subject, I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by
Republican
Republicans.
Senator Ben Sass said, quote, QAnon is nuts and real leaders call conspiracy theories conspiracy theories.
He may be
Why not
right.
just say it's
Can I be
crazy
honest?
and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me
tell
ask you
all
another
about
thing.
it. Let's waste a whole show. You start off with white supremacy. I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more in this vein.
Let me just tell you what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia, and I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that, and I agree
But
with
there's
it
not
very
a
strongly.
satanic pedophile
I have
cult
no
being run
idea.
by-
I know
You
nothing
don't know
about
that? Okay.
No, I don't know
You
that.
just
and
this
neither
week.
do you know that.
Okay, just this week
Why,
you
why aren't
retweeted.
you asking me about Antifa? Why aren't you asking me
'Cause you
about the
just-
radical left?
because you're
Why aren't
volunteering
you asking Joe Biden questions about why doesn't he condemn Antifa? Why does he say it doesn't exist?
Because you're here before
Antifa,
me.
no, excuse, so cute. Antifa exists. They're vicious, they're violent, they kill people, and they're burning down our cities. And they happen to be radical left.
Boom. So that's who this woman is. That's the backstory as to why this is getting any attention whatsoever. Let's see. Beckinator plays for 20 says, let's see, tuning in late. Did you hear about the dude that tried to collect Bitcoin off the ransom that wasn't even related to the case? Or another one? Is there another one? I'm not even sure what that one is. Thank you, brother. I don't know if you're caught up yet or not. Narco says, I'd rather risk driving home after 12 beers at my, let's see. I'd rather risk driving home after 12 beers than my wife driving sober. Don't tell her or the cops I said that. Am I having issues? Am I back? Am I back? All right, I'm good. Okay, I froze for a minute. Okay, we're good now. We're good. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, Narco says, I'd rather risk driving home after 12 beers than my wife driving sober. Don't tell her or the cops I said that. Thank you, Narco. Transgirly for 20 says, well, since we don't know how it's hanging, can we at least know if you think it's bigger or smaller than Michelle's? There is not a chance in hell that I am even remotely close to Michelle's size. Okay? Zero chance. Big Mike is probably swinging about a 15-incher. All right. I'm only at about 7.5. So there you have it. I'm about half of what Big Mike is. Let's see. Heartbreak got that one. John the Beagle says, if President Trump rescues her, does she say thank you to President Trump? Fell off a ladder today, recovering, changing batteries. Changing batteries? Dude, be safe. I'm glad you're feeling all right now. So, yeah, I don't know. She probably will say thank you, but it'll be a very shallow thank you. Emo Otaku says, you ever seen Freddie Got Fingered? One of my faves a long, long time ago, because that's been out for a long time. Fire alarm started beeping. I mean, I hope you're all right, man. New nickname, Jeremy Half Big Mike, Half Mike. Yeah. Let's see. Charlie says, Jeremy, you know that Nancy Guthrie was an avid Trump supporter and loved MAGA and attended several of his rallies, and Savannah hated it. Is that true, Charlie? There's no way. Is there any truth to this? Do you have any, like, if you want to send me anything on Twitter? There's no way. There's no way. So you're telling me the mother was an avid Trump supporter and attended MAGA rallies? There's no way, bro. Please give me more information. I please tell me this is true. This will make this story 10 times better. This will make this story 10 times better. Oh, this will be so good. Jim says, this shows no original thought from Left Tard. Minister Von thinks this feels a lot like it's all to divert attention. The only question is, with everything going on, which story specifically are they trying to divert? I don't personally get that from this story. I really don't. I know that a lot of people do feel that way with like the Epstein files and stuff like that, but I just don't. I don't feel that's what they're doing, in my opinion. Polish Prince says Barack banana tax. Horror Amrana says, Jeremy, you keep giving away that it's all in Breaking Bad. They're not calling you because they're watching the show. You know what? You are correct about that. That's probably why they're not calling me. They're like, we're just going to take his advice and watch Breaking Bad. I was like, damn it, you could have called me, but that's the next best thing, I guess. So I'll let them have that one. By the way, listen to this right here. All right. Amy Rue, streamer. I'm sure many of you know her. Some of you may not, but she gave the best response ever. All right. Amy Rue was asked about her thoughts on ICE. Listen to her response.
Like, there's a certain extent where I'm like, okay, sure, I get people wanting big content creators to like say their opinions on like important topics. I get that, right? But it's like, if you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to like get off the internet. Like, just stop. Like,
Yes. If you need a streamer that knows nothing about politics to tell you about politics, you might need to get off the internet.
About politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to like get off the internet. Like, just stop. Like hello. Like, I don't like what. Like, how am I gonna? I don't know. Get help. Like, even like, I don't know. Like, obviously I don't like dislike any of the political streamers except for like some of like the really bad ones. I don't really like them, but it's like I don't understand how in the first place people care so much what they say. I guess just because they just have a lot of reach or influence, but it's like, why are you listening to them in the first place? I don't.
It's a perfect answer. I don't know.
Their opinion.
Definition of a perfect answer. Why are you asking a streamer that knows nothing about politics? It's so perfect. And if you are doing that, you probably need to get off the internet. Fantastic. Killer Kool-Aid for a proper 199. Says Nancy Guthrie is John Benet Ramsey 2.0. Plus, show me some Sydney Sweeney.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way, so tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
Oh yeah. Proper 199 in the house as always. And that makes everybody in the chat happy. Thank you for the proper 199. And the red dress has to appear. We have to make the red dress appear. I mean, we have to. Red dress has to appear for a proper 199. Those are the rules. So yeah, your profile picture is crazy. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Phoebe for $19.99 says 7.5-inch tax. Probably shouldn't have said that. But thank you for the $20 super chat. All I know is Big Mike is packing a lot more than anybody. All right. Like just flops it out there. And every dude is like, yeah, I can't compete with that. So ain't nobody competing with that. Big Mike, have you seen the way that Barack Hussein Obama acts? He doesn't want to get smacked with that thing. She keeps Barry in line. Like, Barry, shut the fuck up. Win me some elections. Barry's like, I don't want to get smacked in the forehead with that thing. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 10 says, not sure if you covered it. An ex-trans girl won their lawsuit against a surgeon who gave them reassignment surgery at the age of 15. This is just the beginning. Justice is coming for mutilators. LFG. I saw Elon Musk actually tweeted something out about this, not this particular case, but just in general, about the amount of lawsuits that are going to happen over the next, decade is crazy. Like, there's an enormous amount of lawsuits that are going to be happening. A lot of people are going to fall. And this is what my belief is always, is like, good ultimately will prevail. This is why I believe so strongly that President Trump would win, even though it was awful what we went through with 2020 and everything that went down. And I was like, good will ultimately prevail. You've got to go through the bad to get to the good, because in life, nothing, it's just psychology of life. You don't enjoy the good moments until you've been through the bad moments. And that is the truth of it. No, we don't appreciate anything we have until we go through something bad. That's just how life works. Every single person here can relate to that. We all have that moment that we take things for granted, and then something happens, and then like we get that something back, and we're like, oh my God, I didn't realize how much I missed this thing or how much I appreciated this. Good ultimately will prevail, but it takes time, and it takes going through terrible things to fully appreciate and realize that. Bird Up says, throwing a knife on the roof like a pizza. Boom. Hey. Storm Shadow says, Mama Guthrie is in Israel playing Fortnite with Epstein and Michael Jackson. She knew too much about Clinton Foundation, Illuminati witness protection. You know what? If she's hanging out with Epstein right now, playing Rocket League and playing Fortnite, that's the best case scenario. Stream Hero says, I'm really suspicious of this story. I wonder if the kidnapping and ransom story is a cover-up. They offed their mom for some life insurance money. You never know, man. I mean, it's like we see these famous people, and we often like what was it? The actor that played Gus in Breaking Bad. I've talked about this before, but the actor that played Gus Fring, which is one of the greatest, performances in TV history, but Giancarlo Esposito is his name. And before he got the job as Gus Fring, he admitted this. He said that he was contemplating, self-deletion for insurance money so that his kids would be taken care of. He was going to hire a hitman and everything. And then he got the role on Breaking Bad, and it changed his life. But like, this is like, you never know, man. You never know what people are going through. Except for people with TDS, it's kind of easy to know that they're all effed up. Self-deletion voids insurance if they find out. Correct. He was going to hire a hitman. He was looking at different options. This is his words, not mine. But he was trying to find scenarios where he could get it handled where it wouldn't look like that, because he was depressed or whatever. I mean, so I don't know. This situation right here, though, something shady is up, in my opinion. Easy roll. If you're talking about Gus Fring, I disagree completely, dude. Like, his performance as Gus Fring is phenomenal. He made that role so incredibly good. I don't like the guy because the guy is a lunatic. He's a leftist psychopath. but I'm not going to take credit away from it. His performance as Gus Fring is fucking insane. It's absolutely incredible. Heartbreak Zero says, I heard Big Mike was the Samson Alpha infected in 28 years later, if you know what I mean. He was in Once Upon a Time. He was in Once Upon a Time. He was. Becknator Places. I'll just wait for the Netflix documentary to come out in 5 months about this, and it probably will. And then you have to wonder, is Netflix involved in this shit? What's going on? What's up, Og Dog? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Let me see. What is this? Hang on. Chris Christie cracks up Bill Maher as he reveals his wife was stunned to see him not in the Epstein files. What? Hang on.
What's come out in like the last week or so has changed the story a lot for me. Like I said, we turned over this rock. It's not just a few bugs under there. It's like, who isn't under there? You're not in there. No. Are there any Canadians in there?
This is what it's like.
To be fair, Chris Christie wasn't in there because he couldn't fit. Boom.
Like, I'm going to be married 40 years next month. And I know you don't applaud that. But
No, I do.
This is what it's like to be married 40 years. I'm not on there. And my wife said to me, how aren't you on there?
Holy shit. Are you kidding me?
So, like, there is an element of not being able to win on that argument.
That is incredible that he fucking said that. Roll that back.
No, I do. This is what it's like to be married 40 years. I'm not on there. And my wife said to me, how aren't you on there?
Dude, you could have taken a win on this. You could have taken a win and been like, I mean, and this is where Chris Christie's a fucking idiot. Chris Christie's be like, listen, I know that we make a lot of, jokes and everything like that, but this is a very serious issue. There's children involved. There's a lot of victims. And I mean, obviously, with my name not being on there, I do take, some, happiness in the fact that I'm not in there, but there are real victims that we need to focus on right now. Instead, he goes, yeah, my wife says, how are you not in this pedophile ring? Holy crap. Good Lord.
So, like, there is an element of not being able to win on that argument. It's like, I don't know. I didn't want to be.
What's come out?
Amazing. But it doesn't matter because Jeffrey Epstein, he's playing Fortnite and Roblox and Rocket League, apparently. Next up, look at this. Breaking, the FCC has launched an investigation into ABC's The View after this Texas Democratic Senate candidate appeared on the show. The probe is part of the FCC's crackdown on equal time for political candidates, according to Fox News. The outlet reports that ABC never made an equal time filing to the FCC in relation to this person's post. Tallarico, is that his name? Which would indicate to the FCC that Disney believes The View is bona fide news and would be exempt from the policy.
To ask you about your record as a state legislator, because they have reviewed your legislative history and you've missed over 800 votes during your time in the state house. Why did you miss the votes, and why should voters allow you to represent their interests statewide when some are saying you did not represent your district?
And this is a Republican talking point because I broke quorum twice with my Democratic colleagues to protest this redistricting power grab, to protest their voter suppression. And so I wasn't on the floor to take these votes because I was trying to stop them from passing these voter suppression efforts. And so they try to then take a look at all the votes that I missed, when in reality, I was doing my job.
I want to ask you about your record as a state legislator.
So there you go. The View is under FCC investigation. Will anything come of it? I don't know. I tend to I guess I used to get really excited over investigations. Now I feel like investigations are, there's something that are designed to get a lot of people excited over something that nothing will happen from. I don't believe anything comes of this at all. I'm not one of these nothing ever happens type of people, but in specific situations, I don't feel like anything's going to fucking happen. I really don't. Not in this. I just don't expect anything to happen at all. Like zero. But I'd love to be proven wrong. But I don't think I am. Steve Strange says, breaking news. Tim Walsh just apologized for calling it Trump and MAGA Yahtzees. Just kidding. Bronzonite says, slow roll operation. More files will be released from other creeps. Won't see it coming before their hearings. They agreed to. Trump also asking grand jury info to be released. We are going to get more information dropped for sure. We'll see what ultimately comes of that. But it'll be interesting to say the least. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our time has come to an end. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a lot of fun. 2 streams today, and then, of course, Friday Night Tights. So I've put, about 7 hours in? And streaming's a very tough job. It's a very, very tough job. How did Jeremy talk without moving his mouth? Did I? Or maybe I was behind the microphone. So like right here, you can't tell that I'm moving my mouth, but I actually am. But it looks like I'm not. But I'm talking like this, telling you how streaming is very difficult. Another CobraCast in the books, says Sola Felix. Bull Bear says, enjoy the weekend later, y'all. I'll probably be live tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. Let's see. I have a glitch. Says, logged in just in time to say goodbye. All that and no Fortnite. You were frozen for a bit? I see. Okay. But again, really quick before we bounce, I would just like to give another reminder to all the wonderful peeps out there to go over to geeksandgamers.com. And if you are interested, first of all, the site is doing great. The team is doing great. And I do appreciate all of you, being over there and supporting it. Please bookmark the site. Go over there and check it out. There's constant news being updated every day. And it helps more than you know for people to go to the site and check it out and spend some time over there, clicking through the articles, reading the articles. And that's really serious. Like if you want to help Geeks and Gamers grow, that is one of the ways to do it. Sharing these articles out to your social media, whoever, it will help a lot. But specific to what I'm talking about, we have our 2026 meetup. And if you click that RSVP link, it will take you here. And if you are interested in coming to the meetup in Orlando, Florida on 3/21/2026, MegaCon weekend, everybody's going to be there. I talked to Star Wars Theory today. He's going to be there. Drinker's there, Gary, the whole G&G crew, and many more. A couple other names that I need to confirm if they're going to be there first, so I don't want to say. I know Valiant will be there, but there's a few other people that I need to double check with them to make sure. So it will be fun. It will be awesome. It is free. All right. It is free, except for you may have to pay for parking, but that's a universal thing. But yeah, hope to see all of you there. Yeah. Ripaverse will be there. Eric and his crew. I think Yellow Flash has made it public that he's going to be there. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of people, man. It's going to be awesome. And, I can't wait to see all of you. But with that said, Kay asked for Sabaton, so we're going to close it out. You guys have a good evening. Thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow at some point. Baconator Place says free meetup, worst businessman ever. Brother, I could have so much more money if I charged for these fucking meetups, but you know what? It just doesn't seem right. But in the future, we've got some other stuff that people have approached me about opportunities that I'd like to, like one person. You know what? Tomorrow, I'll tell you about an idea somebody pitched to me. All right. an idea somebody pitched to me for 2027, and I want your feedback on it to see what you think. I'll talk about it tomorrow during tomorrow's CobraCast. Tomorrow's CobraCast will probably be later in the evening. So nothing, unless something crazy happens during the day tomorrow, CobraCast will probably be tomorrow evening. And I'll have to remind myself to bring up this idea that I've been pitched. I don't know if I can get enough people together to make it work, but we'll see. But anyway, thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye. Wait, Donnie Danko, where the fuck have you been? Donnie Danko is back? Motherfucker, you've been gone for years. Where the shit have you been? Donnie, I was reaching out to you and everything. Holy shit. You made so many graphics for us. This dude's been gone for like 2 years. Holy shit. Time travel and holy shit. Donnie Danko in the house. Holy crap. Hit me up. Let me know what's going on, man. He did my profile picture and everything. So good to see you, bro. Hit me up. I thought you were dead. I'm not even bullshitting. Can't get into Twitter. You got my phone number, I think. If you don't, email me. We'll talk. All right, guys. Have a good night, and we'll talk to all of you later.